boy, right? I'm just here playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, doing all right so far. But let's pause for a second, yeah? Because I want to talk about something real, about being different. See, growing up, or even now, being different can feel like a curse. You dress different, talk different, think different, and suddenly people act like you're not human. They laugh, whisper, or worse, they try to tear you down just because you don't fit in their tiny box of normal. But let me say this loud and clear. Being different does not mean you should be treated with cruelty. It doesn't mean you deserve less. It doesn't mean you're wrong. Difference is where all the color lives. It's where new ideas are born. It's the pulse behind every story, every piece of art, every rebel who changed the world for the better. And yeah, sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it hurts, walking your own path while others just follow the crowd. But that path, that one only you can walk, that's where your power is. No one becomes a legend by blending in. Not even the Rangers I'm playing now. They were different too. Outsiders, misfits, and they saved the world because of it, not in spite of it. So if someone makes you feel small because you're different, remember, their cruelty says more about them than it ever will about you. You don't need to change to be worthy. You already are. Glances back at screen with a smirk. Anyway, back to saving the grid. And just like in this game, sometimes the strongest hero is the one they underestimated. Still smashing it on Power Rangers for the Grid, but this one's important. So listen close, yeah? Let's talk about being different again. But this time, let's go deeper. Let's talk about being LGBTQ+. Because being queer, being trans, being anything outside the box, it's not wrong. It's not broken. It's not some phase to grow out of. It's real. It's valid. It's you. But let's be honest. The world hasn't always made space for that, has it? Sometimes it feels like just being yourself is a battle. People stare, they judge, they throw around words like weapons. And even though love should be simple, some folks make it complicated with hate. But let me say this, you are not a mistake. You are not here to be hidden. You're here to live, to shine, to take up space in a world that tried to shrink you. They say Rangers fight for justice, yeah? Well, so do you. Just by existing. Every time you walk out the door and say, "This is who I am," that's brave, that's strength, that's power. And if someone's watching this and feeling scared to come out, scared to be honest, scared they won't be accepted, you're not alone. There's a whole family of people out here who get it, and will fight beside you, just like Rangers do. Glances at the screen, slight smirk. Anyway, back to this match. I'm playing a team, but in real life, we've got a whole generation rising, different, proud, beautiful, and completely unstoppable. Younger audience version, camera on, you're sat cross-legged, switch in hand, casual but thoughtful. All right, I'm still playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, but today I want to talk to those of you who might be feeling a bit out of place, especially if you're part of the LGBTQ+ community. You might feel like you're too different, like people don't get you, like you're stuck in a world that wasn't built for someone like you. But let me tell you something simple and true. Being different is not bad. It doesn't make you wrong, and it definitely doesn't mean you should be treated with cruelty. You're not broken, you're not weird, you're just you. And that's more than enough. Sometimes people are scared of what they don't understand, but that's not your fault. That's not your burden to carry. You don't need to change who you are just to make others comfortable. You deserve to live your truth and be happy, just as you are. And look, I know it's scary sometimes. Coming out, speaking up, even just existing can feel hard when the world's throwing shade your way. But you're not alone. There's a whole community out here. People who see you, love you, and have your back. Looks down at Switch, grinning. Anyway, back to saving the world with my Rangers. But don't forget, you're already a hero just for being yourself. 2, poetic versionally deep, powerful. The tone shifts, slower, more poetic, like a monologue. I am pro-Rumen, still playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, but my mind drifts between battles. Because some of the hardest fights aren't found in video games. They're the ones we fight inside ourselves. To the ones who feel different, who carry color in a gray world, who speak truth even when the room goes quiet. To the ones who love fiercely, in secret, in shame, in hope. You are not wrong. You are not a crack in the system. You are the spark the world never saw coming. They'll say you're too much, or not enough, or why can't you just be normal? But you were never made to be small. You were made to shine, to bend the rules of a rigid world and build something softer. The ones who fear you, fear freedom. The ones who mock you don't know courage. And the ones who try to silence you have no idea how loud love can be when it refuses to hide. You, with your voice, your pain, your laugh, your light, you are the kind of different this world desperately needs. Glances at screen, one corner of your mouth lifting. Back to the fight. But remember, sometimes the most powerful move is daring to be yourself in a world that begs you not to. Still playing Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, still dodging lasers, still throwing punches. But there's another battle that doesn't get enough attention. And that's the fight we face in the real world because of race. Let's not pretend, yeah? The world still treats people differently based on the color of their skin. Still whispers, still stares, still throws judgment like it's casual. And sometimes it's not loud, it's quiet, silent, systemic. But it hurts just the same. And the worst part? It can make you feel like you don't belong. Like your roots are something to hide, or your culture something to shrink. But hear this loud and clear. Your heritage is not a burden. Your skin is not a mistake. Your voice is not too loud. You come from stories and strength, from rhythm and resistance, from fire and grace. Being proud of who you are, that's not too much. It's survival, it's power, it's truth. I've seen people judge without knowing the journey. They forget that behind every skin tone is history. Behind every accent is a story. Behind every name is a legacy. So no, we're not asking for special treatment. We're asking for respect, for fairness, for space to breathe and grow without fear. Looks down at the switch, smirks slightly. Even in this game, we fight side by side, rangers of every kind. No one's treated like they don't belong. That's how life should be. Different, but united. Strong, but not cruel. And if you've ever been made to feel small because of your race, let me say this to you. You are seen. You are powerful. And your existence is beautiful. Never let anyone take that away. You know, I've always wondered something. Why is it that people hate others just for being different? Different skin, different beliefs, different ways of loving, different ways of living. It's like some people look at anything unfamiliar and instead of being curious, they get scared. And that fear, it turns into anger. And that anger turns into hate. But here's the thing. Difference isn't dangerous. It's not a threat. It's not a flaw in the system. It's what makes the world richer. Imagine if we all thought the same, dressed the same, lived the same. That ain't life. That's a loop. People fear what they don't understand. But fear isn't an excuse for cruelty. It's a call to learn, to listen, to ask questions instead of throwing stones. You glance down at the game, then back up. Even in this game, I'm playing as one character, but my opponent's different. They've got their own moves, their own powers, and that's what makes the fight exciting. It's the contrast that makes it a story. So why do some people hate what's different? Because they've never been taught how to honor it, because they've never looked beyond their own reflection. But you, if you're watching this, be better than that. Choose compassion over comparison. Choose understanding over judgment. Choose connection over fear. Because being different doesn't make you wrong. And hating someone for that difference, well, that's the real weakness. To those who never fit the frame, you're seated, switch in hand, maybe a game still running quietly in the background. You speak softly but firmly, your voice carrying strength even in stillness. They told you what a human should look like, what a human should wear, what a human should want, how a human should speak, laugh, feel, love. They gave you a list of rules, of roles, of routines, a checklist for being normal. And if you didn't tick every box, they called you strange, broken, wrong. But I'm here to say this, you are none of those things. You're not too much, you're not too little, you're not a glitch in the system, you're the truth they tried to silence. The world will try to shrink you, wrap you up in propaganda that says real men don't cry, real women stay quiet, real people don't dream that big. And if you don't fit their mold, They'll try to snap you in half just to make you fit. But listen to me. You were never made to fit. You were made to fly. You were made for the moments that don't get applause, the kindness that no one sees, the quiet healing behind closed doors, the courage it takes to exist as you in a world designed for someone else. And that is powerful. So if you feel strange, odd, out of place, don't change to please them. Don't fold your wings to fit in their box. Don't dim your colors for their comfort. You are not late to your life. You are not misplaced in the wrong generation. You are not a mistake. You're the one who breaks the chain. You're the one who shows others they can be free too. You're the proof that joy can bloom even when the world is cold. So laugh louder, dress how you want, love who you love, speak with your full voice, play your games, wear your Oni mask, create your world, because the world doesn't need more copies, it needs more you. Speech to the ones who fear what they don't understand. To the people who flinch when they see something different, a boy in makeup, a girl in a suit, someone who doesn't speak the way you expect or love the way you were taught, was right. I want to ask you, who told you difference was dangerous? Who taught you that kindness only belongs to those who look like you, act like you, believe what you believe? Because let's get one thing straight. Being different is not a crime. And punishing someone for being themselves doesn't make you strong. It makes you scared. It makes you cruel. You think it's discipline to tell a child to act normal? You think it's righteous to correct someone's identity like it's a spelling mistake? No, it's fear. And fear, when left unchecked, turns into hate. And hate teaches people to suffer in silence, to smile while they're breaking, to live like ghosts in their own lives. But we're not ghosts, we're not shadows, we're not things to fix. We're stories you don't understand yet, we're futures you're not ready for. We're the color in a black and white world you keep trying to repaint. So stop treating difference like disease. Stop acting like individuality is rebellion. Stop calling people soft when they show emotion or wrong when they show love. Being different is not the problem. Intolerance is. If you want to make the world better, start by letting people breathe. Let them grow. Let them be, even if you don't get it. Because nobody ever changed the world by punishing those who dared to be themselves. They changed it by listening. So if you hear this and it stings, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and ask yourself what you're really afraid of. Here's a powerful and poetic speech addressed directly to those in power. The politicians, the lawmakers, the leaders, the teachers, the executives. Anyone who has ever used their position to punish difference rather than protect it. Speech to the ones in power who fear difference. To those who sit on thrones of authority, writing rules with ink dipped in fear, I see the lines you draw, the boxes you build, the fences you place around what you call normal. You preach tradition like it's sacred, you preach conformity like it's safety, and you treat anything outside your script like a glitch in your design. But let me ask you, is your idea of power so fragile that it trembles at the sight of a painted nail, a rainbow flag, a skirt on the wrong body, a voice that doesn't bend the way you like? You pass laws not to protect, but to correct. You discipline the different, shame the soft-spoken, erase the expressive, like we are problems to be solved, rather than people to be understood. But we are not your projects. We are not errors in your system. We are not broken. We are brave. Your fear will not cage us. Your titles do not make you right. And your power? It is no match for a generation that refuses to be quiet. We are Gen Z, and we are not your puppets. We cry, and we rage, and we create. We build stories from scraps, and paint futures in color while you're still clinging to gray. So let me make it clear. You can ban books, you can censor schools, you can try to erase us from your boardrooms and ballots, but you will not erase us from the world. Because we are louder than shame, brighter than your rules, stronger than your silence. And one day, when your power fades, when history turns the page, our names will be written in bold as the ones who dared to be different and refused to bow.